Hello and welcome back to Frog Boy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I wanted to talk about, seeing as 2023 is almost up, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to do my 10 top games, my top 10 games of this year, what I like about them, and then I'll give you guys the 11th one, which is actually my game of the year. First of all, I want to say that these games are not in order of how much I liked them. These 10 games, in my opinion, are absolutely equal in every single way. They all gave me a lot of joy. They all were games that I was happily playing and really enjoyed playing these games. A couple of these on the list I did not complete, but I got enough enjoyment out of these games and these experiences to where I was like, yeah, these have definitely got to go on my list. There's going to be games in here. There's going to be games that I did not put on this list, and that might upset you a little bit, you know, if these are for those games. But I will do honorable mentions at the end of them. You know, the games that I do remember. But these top 11 games. Top 10 games with my bonus game of the year. These games here really stood out to me this year, and I hope that if you get the opportunity to pick these up in a Steam sale or an Xbox sale or a PlayStation sale, you give these games a chance, because they are incredible and they are part of what made 2023 one of the best years in gaming in a very long time. So, without much ado, let's get to number one. Now, you guys, if you've been at this channel for a while, have heard me bang on and bang on and bang on about how much I love Forspoken. Forspoken is number one. I put that on my list, number one, because Forspoken is one of those games that I got into, I tried, and at first I was like, oh man, when I downloaded the demo on the PS5, I was just like, I don't know about this game. It just seems kind of, you know, blurry and fuzzy and all of that stuff. But I kept playing around with the demo, and I ended up putting like 20 hours into that demo, and I was like, gosh dang, man, I love the way this game feels. I love the way this looks. I love the character phrase. She's freaking awesome, man. I love Forspoken. I think it is incredible. With more time in the oven, if they would have gave this game like another year before they launched it, I think they could have done some amazing things with Forspoken. Over the year, it's had multiple patches. It's been patched up for PC. It now has FSR 3. It looks incredible. It feels incredible. And it is one of my favorite games this year. Forspoken, number one, like just completely blew my mind with the overall experience. Now, I mean, the story, not like the best in the world, but it was cool. It was fun. It was quirky. It was a video game. And I love that. I love that about Forspoken. It doesn't take itself super seriously, and it doesn't try to reinvent like the whole open world genre or anything like that. It just comes across to me as something that, like, wow, this game was awesome. I beat it once on PC. I beat it once on PS5, and I've kept playing this game every single month since then. I just love it. I love getting in there. I love running around this world. I love exploring. I think it's beautiful. I think the combat is incredible. I think that the just the motion, the fluid motion of this game, the traversal and the way it all just flows it flows so good. Like, it was great on PS5. But when you're playing this game with fluid motion frames or frame generation, and you're maxed out, it just glides. This game is absolutely incredible. If you get the opportunity to pick this up while it's on sale, definitely pick this up. Give it a shot. Have some fun with it. Don't take it super seriously. It's just a video game, and have fun with it. Definitely pick it up on sale and have some fun with this. So, let's move on to number two. This is another game that I beat on the PlayStation 5. This one is Final Fantasy 16. Now, if you've been here for a while, you know I love games like Castlevania, and you know I love games like Devil May Cry, and you know I love my movie games too. I do. I mean, every once in a while, I gotta have my movie game. This one here delivered all three of those into one amazing package that took me 40 hours to get through. Not 10 hours, not 20 hours, not 30 hours, but 40 hours of absolute incredible white knuckle battles, exploration, and just some of the coolest combat to come from the Devil May Cry type genre, mixed in with that exploratory gothic feeling of medieval. Oh man, like the Castlevania, like everything just bled into this game, and it just felt incredible to play. The characters are awesome. Clive is very cool. I mean, like young Clive, not so much, but once he gets older, and then you're running around this game, you're interacting with the characters. This was cool. This was an incredible experience. Now, I've seen a lot of people out there complaining about, the movie aspect and the cutscenes this and the cutscenes that. This is that all around, what I call a masterpiece. This was probably by far my favorite Final Fantasy game ever made. And yes, that it to me, it's better than Final Fantasy VII. Even Final Fantasy VII Remake. I absolutely love Final Fantasy 16. I gave this game a 10 in my review, and I'm waiting for the PC version because I am going to play through this again at max settings with the highest frame rate it can muster. I want to play this game again. This is one that I'm sitting here every day hopeful for a release date for the PC version, because this game was absolutely incredible. World design, freaking beautiful. Boss fights, some of the best I've ever experienced in the Devil May Cry type genre slash Castlevania. This was cool. They were challenging yet fun, and wow, this game blew me away. I still think about it all the time. I still get on the PS5 and I still play around with this. I'm working on a new game plus right now. Not really just sitting there like going through it again, but I am actively, going through it. Every time I have that hair, that wild hair at my butt to jump on there and play it, I record and I make a video and then I put that out as well. So yes, Final Fantasy 16 is definitely one of my top 10 games of 2023. So we're going to move on to the third game on my list. This is another PlayStation exclusive title that it was a little bit tough to put this one in there, just because of the overall, there was one other one, but I decided to choose this one over that one. The one that I'm talking about, is the Burning Shores DLC. I was thinking about putting that one in here, but then I figured, look, that's just a DLC, so we're gonna go ahead and give this one to the one and only actual first party exclusive game that came to PlayStation 5 is Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 was an incredible experience from start to finish for me. I absolutely loved the story. I had a very good time with it. The new mechanics of being able to use the wingsuit, the faster traversal. This one here was almost as close to the Forspoken experience in terms of just traversal and the speed of it and having fun. The one thing that weighed it down was pretty much the combat. The combat just feels pretty outdated, especially for Spider-Man being a superhero and stuff. That's something that we're never going to get around, obviously, because they have to make the game exciting and fun, or, they would have to just have like crowds of enemies that you're one-shotting for it to even make sense. So I don't know. I do give them a little bit of leeway on there. I gave Spider-Man 2 a 10 in my review because it definitely deserved it. It had good production value. It was very fun. During my playthrough, I didn't run into any bugs, but after running around the city and stuff, obviously there were some bugs in there, some glitches, whatever. Stuff that I could easily overlook, and it didn't bug me. It didn't ruin my experience. It didn't drag anything down. The gameplay, throughout the story wasn't boring, but I do have to, the after the end game stuff is a little bit boring. I do appreciate the Spider-Man games, but I do think they need to evolve a little bit more than what we got with this one. But that didn't stop me from putting this on my top 10 list. It was absolutely incredible. I really had a lot of fun with this. So yeah, definitely Spider-Man 2 is definitely in there as a top 10 game for me. The next one, we are going over to Xbox. And we're going to talk about Starfield for a minute. And Starfield is definitely in my top 10. If I had to rate Starfield as like my number one, Starfield would be my number one game for Xbox this year. So let's go ahead and talk about Starfield for a minute. Well, I mean, as you can see on the internet or whatever, so apparently Starfield, in my opinion, is freaking awesome for at least 50 hours. Freaking awesome. I've got 50 hours into it. I enjoyed every single minute of it. I thought it was absolutely incredible. But after 100 hours, apparently it starts to get a little boring. And then after 300 hours of playing it, it starts to get a little mid. I put this on Twitter today, so if you guys want to go look at the tweet. I just think it's funny, man. Starfield 100% delivered on the experience that I thought it was going to give me. I'm very satisfied with the overall experience. I had fun with the combat. I had fun with the world exploration. I had an amazing time with the story. I thought it was great interacting with the characters, the world, everything that Bethesda built for Starfield. I absolutely loved it. I think they hit the nail right on the head when they said, we're going to deliver a space exploration RPG that's going to be immersive. Now, so for me, as an open world game lover, I love open world games. Exploring is like one of the highlights of any open world game for me. I usually get over 100 plus hours in Ubisoft games exploring those open worlds. I think they're incredible. I love those. Starfield managed to not only give me a compelling campaign to explore, but also gives you compelling side content. Now there's different factions that you can go and you can do the side content and stuff. And those are all very interesting and very fun. Like I really enjoyed during my playthrough. The one thing that I do regret about my first playthrough is I should have done more of those faction missions before completing the overall, the story. Because once you get into like the New Game Plus and stuff like that, I just kind of feel like I would have had a much more involved experience had I continued to keep going. But I had a 4-day weekend. I played it through the whole 4 days. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get done with it so I could put out a review. And I should have just kept going. I shouldn't have rushed myself to get through that, because Starfield is an absolutely incredible game and definitely a must play for anybody that likes space or exploration or open world games. These open worlds on here were pretty massive. And as somebody that plays a lot of open world games, every planet I went to, I was able to go around and explore and have fun and just look at them. Some of them, obviously they nailed space. For me, that's what I imagined space would be like, going to these planets and just walking around on empty, barren, worlds and stuff, and just looking at the looking up into the sky, into the atmosphere, seeing like the just the whole thing around that, the docking of spaceships, the getting on spaceships, the walking around, the exploring like these settlements and stuff like that. Starfield delivered on that, and I thought the visuals were absolutely incredible. This game looked beautiful. You get in there and you start looking at like the spaceship designs and the character designs and the city designs, and you see this intricate detail that just isn't there in a lot of games. Like it was there. It was beautiful. I beat it once on Xbox. I beat it once on PC, and I feel like I was like, wow, this is incredible. This is an incredible game, and I definitely recommend everybody get the opportunity to get in here and play this. So let's move on to number 5. Number 5 is another Xbox game where I played on Xbox. That is Diablo 4. Diablo 4 was absolutely incredible. I loved playing this game. I think they 100% nailed the Diablo experience, going through that on my playthrough, having fun with that. This is one of the games this year that I wish I had spent more time playing. I wish I would have spent a lot more time on this and continued to play this and got, you know, as much as I could. But I did buy a second copy on the PC, so I'll continue playing that. My save and everything transferred over, so I'm pretty happy with that. Diablo 4 is awesome. The map is gigantic. The gameplay is very addicting. I really love that. You know, finding the loot and doing all of that. I should have spent more time on this. I should have spent a lot more time playing this, but I got through it. I beat it with the community, and then I did the review, and I thought this game was incredible. That was another 10 out of 10 for me. Starfield was a 10 out of 10. All of these games are games that I gave 10s, and I was just like, wow, I was absolutely blown away with how beautiful it looked, and just the overall variety of this game was like, wow, this is cool. So for all the other people out there that are just, oh, this is their one game and they're playing it and they're complaining about it and stuff, just know that there's people like me that really enjoyed this game, and I thought it was incredible. I got over 30 something hours on there playing that. That to me was absolutely incredible. So we're gonna move on to the next game on my top 10 list for this year, and that is Forza Motorsport. Forza Motorsport is incredible. It did launch a little bit rocky. There's obviously things that they can do to expand and make the experience even better. But when I get in there and I play this and I compare it to other PC racing games, I'm like, gosh dang, man. Forza Turn 10 is really starting to take this more seriously, to a point where, yeah, this game can actually compete with some of them other great games that are out there. Some of these, you know, Automobilista 2, Assetto Corsa Competizione. When I jump into Forza Motorsport, I'm not sitting there thinking about these other PC racing games like I do with Gran Turismo 7. When I get on Gran Turismo 7, I instantly start thinking, man, I'd rather just be playing Assetto Corsa Competizione. I'd just rather be playing Automobilista 2. I'd rather be playing Forza Motorsport. Forza Motorsport is incredible. This is a live service game. It will continue to be supported. They are making changes as this game continues to grow. So yes, it might be a little rocky for you right now, but I definitely recommend jumping in there. I think that, you know, one of my favorite things about this, let me just get this out there. The AI. At first I was like, these are the dumbest freaking AI I have ever been up against. But then as I continue to race them and they continue to learn from me, and I continue to and as I continue to, you know, keep joining races and creating races and doing all of that, these guys seem to get better. They're not like world class or anything like that, but they feel more original than just like the AI on every other game that just follows the same track. This feels a little bit more dynamic, and that's awesome. I like that. I like the way the AI in Forza Motorsport feels. I like racing these guys. It's just it's fun. It's entertaining. It's enjoying for me to get on there and actually, you know, race these guys. It's pretty funny. And I do like to see them grow and how they're getting better. I absolutely love that. So, yeah, Forza Motorsport is definitely in my top 10 for 2023. Now we're going to move over to Assassin's Creed Mirage. Assassin's Creed Mirage definitely earned its spot on my top 10. First of all, because it's an Assassin's Creed game, and I love Assassin's Creed games, and I'm a Ubisoft fanboy, so it doesn't matter what you say. I loved Assassin's Creed Mirage. I did like Assassin's Creed Mirage. I gave this one a 10 too, I believe. Well, actually, I don't think I gave this one a 10. But the overall game, being a smaller, more closed off experience, a little bit more streamlined than some of the other, you know, recent bigger games, you know, like Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. Obviously, this one here is a lot smaller, probably more comparable to like the first and second game, in terms of like scope and size and all of that. But what this game was able to do is kind of fill that gap for the people that like that type of Assassin's Creed. It didn't really move anything forward or anything like that, but it did deliver on the experience that you would want. Like the nostalgia was 100% there in terms of the first game, as well as, you know, Assassin's Creed Origins for me. The overall experience was pretty good. I enjoyed my 17 hours with this game. I thought it was incredible. I played through it. I had fun. I'm actually working on a new game plus right now as well. I bought that on both Xbox and PC, so I have been playing it on both of those and checking that out. So as it sits, yes, Assassin's Creed Mirage is definitely in my top 10 this year. Very fun. I really enjoyed that experience, and yeah, I think they did a good job with Baghdad. The environment is beautiful. The city is very fun. The parkour is actually decent. I do like it. I thought it was fun. I thought this was good. I thought it was a nice return to the roots of Assassin's Creed, and I think it paid off. I think that a lot of people received this game very well, and I think a lot of people are pretty happy with it because I know I am. So let's move on to number 8, and that is Modern Warfare 3, the campaign. I gave this a 10. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was incredible. I like how they went out of their way to not necessarily create like open-ended missions, but they give you the freedom in this game, and it was pretty fun. I liked it. I thought it was great. You still have the missions that are 100% like focused, story focused, all of that, and then you have these open-ended sections that are just, you can just go in there and do them and have fun. I felt like some of these things were like sneaking up on a rocket bunker, very cool, running around and like taking things out, taking out helicopters, stuff like that. It was just fun going and taking out a dam. Like, I thought that Modern Warfare 3 was incredible. The story, the story content was good. The characters, I loved it. I think the production values were out of this freaking world. Modern Warfare 3 was absolutely incredible. I love the campaign. It was about 5 hours, about the same amount of time I spent with Modern Warfare 2. I liked it. I thought it was great. So, yeah, definitely think you should pick this one up and play it. But I'm pretty sure everybody's already bought it because it's like up there in terms of like number one selling game. So, yeah, pretty good. Another game. This one here I did not finish. The next two I didn't finish. I really wanted to. I'm really far on this next one. Number 9 on my list is going to be Immortals of Avium. Specifically talking about the PC version, the version that I've been able to pretty much max out, run at very high frame rate, and adjust my field of view. I do have it on the Xbox as well. I was playing it on the Xbox, but it was starting to make me sick. The field of view is just too close for me. It's not wide enough, so the majority of my gameplay has been on the PC version. I'm actually almost done with it. Like, I've got like a few more chapters and then I should be done with it. It's one of those games that I've been trying to get through, but I keep my attention keeps getting pulled away from it. But this is one of those games that when I first started playing it, or when I first started, I'm going to be honest, when I first started seeing like the overall previews and stuff for this game, and I was looking at it and I was calling it Immortals of Average, because it just looked average to me. But as I started playing this game and having fun with this and like going through these levels and seeing, the world that they built with Unreal Engine 5, and it is kind of weird for me to put Immortals of Avium in here, but this is one of those games that like you can look at this as like a tech demo. But you can also look at this as like the start of something new, like a new series or something like that. And the roots of this game and how it feels like a battle mage game that incorporates, like Call of Duty or, like Halo having like the grappling hook and stuff like that. And when you get in here and you start mixing some of these magic powers together and you start getting into the rhythm of how the combat works on this game, it's absolutely incredible. Like, it's genius. I really love this. These boss fights, they're very they're pretty freaking for me, they've been pretty challenging. Like, I love them. I love the world design in this game. I love the characters. Most of the characters in this game are pretty freaking cool. You got like the one, what's her name? You got like the one buff chick or whatever. Like, it is what it is. Like, I don't even care anymore at this point. Like, it is pretty cool. Like, I do like the characters. I like the witty banter, stuff like that. It just feels like a really cool game, like a streamlined AAA, like Call of Duty type game. And I thought it was cool. Like, I think it's cool. I'm about 20 hours into it. Like I've been playing this game for about 20 hours, and that's why I was like, gosh dang, man. Like I keep thinking about it, and I keep thinking about it, and I keep thinking about it, and I think one of the reasons why I haven't beat it yet is because I bought it on the EA Play Store. So when I am thinking about it, you know, I'm usually over on like Steam or something like that, and I just don't get into the EA app enough to see it to remind me, oh yeah, you got to finish this game. But this is one that I'm actively trying to finish. I do want to try to get through it, and after making this video, hopefully I can get through that, make the video, or finish the game, and then make the video and get that out to you guys so that you guys can check it out. Like I do like Immortals of Avium. I think it is very, very good on the PC. It also has FSR 3. You get frame generation in this game, and it's built on Unreal Engine 5. The developers are talking about bringing FSR 3 to the console version. Hopefully they can bring in a field of view slider, because that right there is something that I was having a very hard time with that game. It was starting to make me a little sick. So yeah, Immortals of Avium definitely in my top 10. Number 10 is another game that I was unable to complete. Something that I really like playing. I got it on Xbox. I got it on the PC. That is Remnant 2. Remnant 2 has some of the most addicting, fun gameplay that you can think of, and especially playing this game co-op, very, very cool, very fun. I played a lot, you know, on the Xbox. I've played a lot on the PC. I just, when I buy 2 copies of these games, man, it's so hard to pick and choose where I'm going to play. So I end up playing a lot on both of them, and then I end up just, you know, having to move on to the next game, because there's so many games that came out in 2023. But I was able to get through a lot of these games this year. I was able to really focus and get through a lot of these games. Sadly, Remnant 2 wasn't one of them, but this one here was definitely one of my favorite games, one of my favorite experiences to play this year. Definitely got, you know, enough gameplay out of this game to like really be like, yeah, this is cool. I love this game. I love the way this feels. I love the way this looks. And that was another Unreal Engine 5 game. Definitely plays and looks great on Series X. Definitely looks and plays amazing on PC. So yeah, that was definitely one of those games that I wish I would have got more time to play, and that I should have played a lot more, but I did a whole bunch of what are they called, like benchmarks and all of that stuff. And sometimes the channel really does just get in the way of me wanting to be able to, or me being able to play some of these games. And, you know, sometimes that really does suck, but sometimes it's also rewarding, because then I have these experiences that I really love, that when I'm bored and it's a dry season, I can go back and I can play more of them, and I can really enjoy that. So let's get on to my game of the year. Alan Wake 2. Absolutely incredible freaking game. Loved every minute of this game. I definitely loved the Saga Anderson sections a lot more. I thought this game was beautifully crafted. It looks incredible. I played through this one on PC. Man, this game was cool. The story was pretty dang good. I liked that. I mean, it was a little bit kind of weird and out there, but hey, man, that's Remedy for you. Remedy makes some of the coolest freaking games that I've ever played in my life, and this one here is definitely one of them top 10 masterpieces. I mean, this is 11, man. This one here was above and beyond everything else I played this year. And to be completely honest, when I started playing this and I was getting through it, and I was like, wow, this is great. They built an amazing masterpiece out of this game. You get into some of these Alan Wake sections and you're like, oh my gosh, this stuff is trippy. Original freaking cool music that they built and brought to this game. Cool acting, and man, this game was awesome. If you haven't played this game, I absolutely recommend this. The boss battles in here, the freaking combat, very cool. White knuckles stuff, man, kept me on the edge of my seat. Very, very cool, man. They didn't overdo like the whole jump scare thing. Like, this game was actually kind of terrifying at some spots. You're just like, wow, dude. This game is writing, acting, atmosphere, and everything is so good that Remedy didn't even have to rely on jump scares, man. This game was just like, woo, terrifying sometimes. Very cool. I loved it. I love that. Man, this game had some of the best atmosphere for a survival horror game that I've ever played in my life. I mean, I love this. Resident Evil 4 is incredible. I love that game too. But this one here, knocked it out of the freaking park in that regard for me. So I did say that I was going to talk about some of the games that that didn't make it to my list. Hogwarts Legacy, absolutely incredible game. I really enjoy playing that one. I would have made that like in my top 10, but these games right here, they definitely, in my opinion, were better to me than Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy is absolutely incredible. I've got about 13 and 16 hours on the Xbox and the PC version. I was playing them, simultaneously for the most part, and I just got to a point where I was like, oh man, dude, I can't keep going back and forth. And then I just kind of moved on from that and started playing like other games like Dead Space, remake and stuff like that. So Hogwarts Legacy, there's Ride 5 was one of those games that I'm like, yeah, this game is pretty awesome. There's let me pull up my Steam real quick so I can look at some of these other ones. There wasn't like a lot, but when I get in here, like Baldur's Gate 3, I'll just rattle off a couple of these. Armored Core 6, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, and then Hogwarts Legacy, obviously, Atlas Fallen, Lords of the Fallen, and RoboCop Rogue City, as well as Star Ocean Second Story R. Those are all games that was a very hard choice to put the 10 that I did there, but those games are all absolutely incredible. If one of these games wouldn't have come out, one of those games would have been on this list for sure. But my top 10 games of 2023: Forspoken, Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2, Starfield, Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Modern Warfare 3, Immortals of Avium, Remnant 2, and my game of the year, Alan Wake 2. These games were incredible. I really enjoyed these. These made 2023 one of the best years in gaming in a very long time. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends, and I will see you guys in the next one.